Video games are filled with Easter eggs and in-jokes and stuff that takes a little more to understand, but sometimes there's something that you just go, wow, the people that made this game are perverts. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 hidden inappropriate jokes in video games. Now before we get into this, I'm going to say that it's important to understand that what is inappropriate is very relative to the thing that you're talking about. So something that somebody might not find that inappropriate could be very inappropriate in, like, I don't know, children's media. It's all relative, and I think it's important to say that up front because I mostly think that all this stuff is really funny personally. And hopefully you do too, because that's kind of the point of making the video, right? Anyway, let's get going. Starting off with number 10, it's some stuff in Super Mario RPG. Now everybody knows about the secret in Princess Toadstool's room in Super Mario RPG, right? It's been accurately recreated in the remake that just came out on the Switch. All you have to do is check the wall near the fireplace in Peach's room to get this message that says, "You found Peach's XXX." Doesn't show you what you actually found, but the implication is pretty obvious. That one everybody knows about. But there's actually much raunchier stuff in this game hidden away. Like if you use Mallow's psychopath power on a Goombette, you get a message that's a pretty blatant female masturbation joke. And it's not like just a female masturbation joke like female masturbation exists. It is graphic. Now, it involves knowing Japanese, so, I mean, you don't have to worry about your kids accidentally coming across it and understanding it, unless, of course, you are teaching your children Japanese or something. I know, they changed the translation to something else in the North American version, but in the Japanese, it is filthy as hell. And this is a Mario game. Like, isn't this supposed to be an all-ages thing? Like, who wrote this? And number 9 is SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. There's always been a hint of darkness in the SpongeBob SquarePants. Random bits of adult humor pop up in this series all the time. Usually not all that hidden, but in 2003's Battle of Bikini Bottom, a fan favorite that got remastered back in 2020, there's something pretty nasty hiding in there. I'll give you a hint. Ever take a nice long look at them trees? Do they look a little off to you at all? Well, if they do, that's because the textures on them are not tree textures at all. In a now deleted tweet from Chris Glass back in 2018, he revealed that the tree textures, specifically the ones for the palm trees, were made using pictures of feces. Yeah, fecal matter. Poopy. Shit. In Battle for Bikini Bottom, the trees are made of shit. The entire thread related to the topic is gone, but Did You Know Gaming covers this topic and includes the part of the Twitter threads where somebody pulled the textures from the game and found the specific turd texture in question. It wasn't exactly how the developer remembered it, but there's no doubt about it, that's a pile of poop. Obviously, the remastered version cut these, but wouldn't it be great if they just went and found higher resolution pictures of cow crap to replace the tree textures with? That's a real 10 out of 10 remaster, if you ask me. At number 8 is Devil May Cry 5, another children's game. No. I'm just kidding. This series is just completely known for shameless single entendres. Seriously, the dirty jokes are so blunt and obvious, you can't even call them jokes. They're just, I don't know, characters saying really horny stuff. And they somehow managed to top themselves with a completely absurd Devil Breaker arm for Neo called Sweet Surrender. Most of the Devil Breakers Nero can put on are weapons of some kind, but this is different. Instead of having an offensive function, it's purely for healing. When activated, the hand starts vibrating and slowly refills your health. If the joke isn't obvious enough, then the Devil Breaker's special move should illuminate things. Nero literally starts, and excuse me here, there is no other way to say this, but he starts jacking the arm off until it literally explodes and you get a bunch of healing. Pretty clear what it's supposed to be, but if you still need help, the description should be enough. A Devil Breaker created by Nico to relieve Kyrie's tension. Got it. Understood. I don't know, guys. Maybe they didn't make the joke obvious enough yet. Maybe every time you put it on, Dante should appear, slap you in the face, and shout, "It's a vibrator!" So we get it? I don't know. It's too subtle for me, guys. It's too subtle. And number 7 is Splatoon 2, a dark, grim, and realistic story. Got you again. No, but this little secret went unnoticed for years in Splatoon 2. Crediting this one to Rassicas on Twitter, or X, or whatever we call it now. There's no way in hell I'd have known this without their hard work. So in Splatoon 2, there's a vendor named Gelfonzo, which wears a different shirt every day. Most of them innocuous. Sometimes he wears this red one with white text. The text looks like gibberish, and that's because it's a made-up Splatoon language. People, however, have managed to figure out how to translate that language, and if you take the shirt's design, which is honestly too blurry to really make out in-game, but if you extract the textures and get a really good look at it, people have managed to translate what the shirt says. What does it say? You is what it says. In this cute little kids game with fashionable little squid kids. One guy's walking around with a shirt that's about as confrontational as you get. And nobody really, cares. It's pretty vulgar for a series like this, but ostensibly every single one of these people walking around in this world can read this language, and nobody's like, that guy's pretty hostile. Don't know what's up with him. I don't know, he's kind of a fashion-y guy, I guess. Maybe he's wearing it ironically, maybe not. Nobody ever calls him out on it though, so I don't know, maybe they all understand him. And number 6 is Ratchet and Clank. These games are pretty upfront about their jokes. I mean, look at the sequel names. Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. Actually, you know what? That one doesn't really... Oh, back to it with Quest for Booty, though. Then there's Full Frontal Assault, which, Into the Nexus, I'm not so sure about. I'm sure you can all figure out a way for it to be a dirty joke of some kind. I mean, when you say any of those titles alone, you're kind of like, yeah. But when you say them all together, it's like, I mean, they talk about dicks and asses a lot in those titles. Those are all pretty obvious, right? But the one that's most repeated, I actually never really pieced together. One of the most returned to planets in the game is Planet Kerwan. It's in a lot of games, including the original and the remake, and the name has remained unchanged since the beginning. Maybe I'm an idiot here, but I never thought twice about the name Planet Kerwan, which seems pretty normal for a space shooter. Nothing out of the ordinary here. But rearrange the syllables, you get Planet Wanker. Yeah, very funny, Insomniac. I don't know if the joke is on me or what, but there it is. It's been hiding out there in the open this whole time. And number 5 is Super Mario 3D World. For a company considered as kid-friendly as Nintendo is, they really do like to pepper in some filthy crap into their games. As far back as the original Kirby on Game Boy, that was a really crude, in both senses of the word. It didn't look good, but it was a drawing of a naked woman. And now in Super Mario 3D World, there is an unavoidable floor dick, quote-unquote, hidden in the World 4 castle. There's this. Just look at it. Take it in. What else could this possibly be? The 2 P blocks really sell it too. Without those, I guess it'd be some kind of plausible deniability, but that's absolutely meant to be a dick. Like, that's 100% what this is. It's maybe not as vulgar as that Super Mario RPG secret, but that's kind of a testament to how freaking vulgar that is. Because this is just a dick. Like, that's a dick, period. There are no things that you could say to me that make me think that that's not what that is. Absolutely nothing. I mean, actually, you'd be shocked how many other dicks are hiding in Nintendo games. This is one of the more recent examples, but they're everywhere. And number 4 is Crash of the Titans, a late-era Activision game in the Crash series before Crash 4. These games all went in some pretty weird directions. There's not a whole lot of love for the redesigned era games. Crash Bandicoot, Mind Over Mutant, Crash of the Titans. I mean, they're pretty mediocre overall, especially compared to the original trilogy. And then Crash 4, which is a really good return to form as far as I'm concerned. But there are some pretty fun and creative ideas hidden in these 2 games. We're not talking about that, though. Instead, let's look at an embarrassing costume. There's a pretty impressive selection of skins you can unlock in this game, and they're all pretty goofy in some way or another, but this is the one I'm particularly interested in. The Magmadon skin, which you get for jacking 50 Magmadons. Now, I don't know whether this is a Clerks reference or an Always Sunny reference, or both, but it's at least one of those things. Now, look at the description for it. Ribbed and bumpy for your gaming enjoyment. Maybe if they didn't include ribbed in there, it wouldn't be so obvious, but they're clearly making a condom joke. And again, I think I'm gonna lean towards Sunny on this one, because that one's also specifically a condom joke. Magnum Dong, Magmadon. I don't know. If we keep talking about this, we get dangerously close to furry territory. So I'm gonna pull the emergency ripcord here and move on. At number 3 is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, a game filled to bursting with weirdly thirsty characters. Rolla of the Curious Quiver may be the thirstiest of them all. A lot of this stuff isn't hidden. When you talk to her and initiate a side quest, she makes her feelings pretty clear by talking about how you should take out that bow. If you really want to see something though, go to her shop and read her journal, which says that Link looks like he really knows how to tune a bow, and that I hope he comes by and knocks an arrow for me. As far as metaphors go, it's probably gonna pass over young kids' heads, but at the same time, it's not very clever. It's really just being filthy, right? Also, you can bang Paya in the game, so yeah. And number 2 is Jak 3. The Jak games took a different road compared to the Ratchet and Clank games. They're both Sony-published titles, but where Ratchet was stuffed full of rude humor and little inappropriate jokes, Jak games, especially starting in 2, just got blunt with it. Most of the inappropriate humor came from Daxter, the little furball companion. More swearing and straight-up jokes compared to Ratchet, but less of the bawdy stuff. That doesn't mean it didn't happen, though. In Jak 3, you get a mission to beat a character's high score, and Daxter makes the offhand joke that Jak beats things all the time, with little air quotes and everything.
Oh, don't worry. Jak beats things all the time. Hey, Jak?
Completely didn't notice it the first time around, but now I look back and yeah, do I even need to say what that is? Duh. It's stuff like this that makes me realize that things I played many years ago were way dirtier than I thought. Like, they were full of this stuff, and I guess I was just oblivious to it. And at number 1 is Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. You want inappropriate jokes, you don't look any further than the Pokemon series. These games are full of it. I could make a whole list about jokes in these games that cover the entire spectrum of filth, but let's stick with this one. It is one of the most blatant and went over many, many kids' heads when it came out. On Route 47, the only area that appears in Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which wasn't in the original games, you can find a double-team trainer battle that wants to challenge you. They're called the Young Couple, Duff and Ida, and when you fight them, the Pokemon they use are a Cloyster and an Onix. Just look at these things. Remind you anything? Dirty minds over at the Pokemon Company. Dirty minds. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on gameranx.